Ethan Lovett arrived at the Davis residence and attacked Christina Davis. At some point, Christina had called my son Keifer to ask for help. Keifer was on his way to Christina's house when he lost control of the SUV he was driving and ran it off the road. The damage to the car made it undrivable and...
Okay. It's posted on Keifer's memorial webpage, so everybody in school has seen it.
Sweetie, people will look at this and see that Mr. Bauer is grieving, and they're also going to know that he's not telling the whole story.
My boyfriend is dead! And Keifer's father is telling the whole world that you killed him! And that I lied and said that he beat me up! We can't just pretend this is going to go away!
There's nothing more to say about the situation at this time.
Situation? My son is dead. That's the situation.
I've answered your questions. I've been as
He was found on the side of a road. Someone left him there to die.
What happened to Keifer was an accident.
According to Alexis Davis.
Mr. Bauer, I had no idea that you were here.
You had no idea? You had no idea that we would be seeking justice for our son? You had no idea that we would object to the preferential treatment you're receiving?
But now that I am here, I would be glad to answer any questions that you have.
Oh, you would? Okay, well, here's one. After you ran down my son, why didn't you stop?
Because I was in shock. Because I was driving my daughter to the hospital after your son had beaten her.
That's a lie.
Listen, we need to sort this out in front of a judge in court.
Oh, okay, that's because you think you can manipulate a judge. As easily as you're manipulating a police commissioner?
I've already turned myself in.
Yeah, after you stood right next to me and my wife and watched my son die, knowing the whole time that you were responsible?
What happened was unimaginable, but it does not negate the fact that your son was beating the crap out of my daughter.
And now Keifer's a victim of this posthumous campaign. You think you can get away with this? No. Just because you're sleeping with this guy?
He's my friend. It has nothing to do with anything.
Put yourself in my position, Mrs. Davis. Okay, imagine that I accidentally ran down your daughter. And that I didn't stop. I didn't call for help. Didn't call 911. And then I stood right next to you and watched Christina as she passed away, knowing that I was responsible, that I left her out there on a road to die.
You made your point. I have work to do.
Oh, because getting justice for my son doesn't qualify for work around here.
That isn't what I said, Mr. Bauer.
You can't stop me from exposing the truth, even if it costs you your job.
Threatening my job isn't the best way to get what you want.
How does Ms. Alexis Davis get what she wants, huh? Is that a function of her close personal relationship with you?
I think the commissioner has been very generous with his time, and maybe you want to have this discussion with me in private. Can you give us a minute? I realize that you're grieving. But taking it out on the police commissioner and the rest of the police department isn't going to help your case. You're scaring everybody and making everybody miserable, including yourself. And that won't bring your son back.
Well, my son is gone because you killed him. So spare me the lecture on what I need to do. I'm very clear as to what happens next. I'm gonna protect my son's memory, salvage his reputation, then I'm gonna send you to prison. And if I happen to destroy your daughter along the way, well, then you're gonna know what it's like to grieve for a child.
Keifer had been abusing Christina for months.
Why didn't she ever say anything about it?
Because victims don't say anything. They don't tell. Because they're afraid. Because they're protecting their abuser. Because
put a hand
traumatized
on that girl.
He did. He did it several times. 2 of those times landed her in the hospital.
Ethan Lovett put her in the hospital.
He didn't. You see, Christina blamed him because she didn't want Sonny to go try and kill your son. I don't know why, but she was protecting him. And you can deny this forever, but it's not going to change the fact that your son was beating up my daughter.
Christina never said one word about Keifer hitting her until after you killed him.
I promise you it was an accident.
It was negligent homicide at best. That's why you and all of your boyfriends are trying to cover this up. But I'm going to make sure that the whole world knows that you are a murderer. And that your daughter, Christina, is nothing but a promiscuous little tramp who got beat up because she was asking for it.
Sam! Oh, Sam.